Fanwarongo na lomo ni vanua Kena tani levu tu na ua Lo mango voli me uba ubatuka Tovo lea ke balavu na bula
Mr. Johnson, good to see you.
Good morning, or good evening.
Hi, Chris. Oh, yeah.
Good morning to John and good evening to everybody else.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I'm in San Francisco, Chris.
Oh, you're in San Francisco. What are you doing there? Going on another cruise?
No, my wife's on a cruise tomorrow. She's on a business cruise, and I came down on the train with my friend from my bus driving days, and yeah, we're spending 4 days here. It's great.
So, what does Cindy do that she travels so much?
Well, basically, it's a retirement job, and so she has a travel franchise called Cruise Planners, and
Okay.
she gets a lot of things where she does seminars and conventions and that. She gets discounts, yeah, and she likes.
Because you know, my wife's still in the travel business too. She's been with.
Yeah.
She was a travel agent when I first met her. She worked for a different company, and then for the last 17 years, she's been working.
Your Wi-Fi is breaking up, Chris.
17 years with the Auto Club as a travel agent. Retired. Yes. Did you catch what I said?
We kind of did. It kind of broke up a little bit, but I kind of got it. Yeah.
There's a bit of an echo on it as well, Chris.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm usually on the connected up with the Ethernet directly, and I moved to the other side of the house.
Yeah.
And I'm on Wi-Fi, so it may be a little weak.
It seems okay. Hello, Steve, crew bar director. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. Well.
You should be smiling, Steve. Wasn't that what a wonderful game?
That was hard fought, mate. last minute. Whoa.
Yeah.
Good young lad there. Good young lad. Yeah.
Chris, you put some photos on the other day, and
Yeah.
Dave Armour was on it. He
Right.
was the photographer who lived opposite me on D-deck on the Oriana.
Okay, yeah, he was probably that was the chief's cabin.
That's
So he was
right.
probably the number one for a while.
Yeah.
So
That was about.
Peter Bruard was probably on leave, so he moved up.
Yeah, I think it was when I first joined in '74, or it could have gone into '75. I'm not sure, but that's definitely.
I've lost touch with it. Seems like everybody's lost touch with him.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really know him very well, and when I left Oriana after about 15 months and went to Canberra, and I don't think I ever saw him again. So
he and Ian Emery, who they both worked with me on the Oriana at one time. Ian's living in rural Catalonia now, and he's lost touch with him. And they ran a business after they left the ships. They ran a business in near Southampton called Solent Studios, and then that folded, and they lost touch with each other after that. So I don't know.
oh dear,
Ian said that he ran into trouble. Ian said he ran into trouble with the law. So I have no idea what happened.
Sorry, Chris, I was shaking my head at David.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Take the traffic lights down.
Mr. Inge.
I'm just trying to do that now. Chris, good to see you. And you were witnessing my first bollocking of the evening already.
I know.
I tried to warn you. I tried to warn you.
I know. Thanks, Brucey. Right, I'll put that one. just for the moment.
And no one said hi to Blackpool Bob. Hello, Bob.
Oh, good evening.
Hello,
Hello,
Bob.
Bob.
Yeah,
Happy
Bob.
birthday. Happy
Well,
birthday.
belated birthday.
As was.
You do realise, in the absence of an anchorman, you can always step in, Johnny.
I just did. I just did.
Sorry about the result yesterday, Bob.
Yeah, what crap, eh?
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh,
I thought the Reds did very well today, actually.
to
Well
be full,
done. Hey, look at that. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
The Reds did very well yesterday.
Whoa, easy, Fruity.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Man United, obviously.
No,
No, the Red
yeah.
Devils, not the Reds.
I felt very sorry for the girls in the rugby yesterday. Yesterday morning.
Yes,
New
yeah.
Zealand.
Oh,
Flipping
yeah.
heck. Oh, that was a sickener, you know.
if they hadn't lost that girl, gone off.
If she hadn't been sent off and they had over an hour to play without her, you know, they did really well. But you know what that was.
So
it.
Dave, I hear Bournemouth are after Bielsa.
Well, yes, I did see that. But I went yesterday to the Bournemouth Everton for the league. I saw them in the cup in the week, but I saw it yesterday. And it wouldn't have mattered what manager was with Bournemouth. Everton were absolutely dire. Yeah, they didn't have it. Fruity, you know all about that, obviously. You know,
Oh, yes, yeah.
absolutely.
Actually, Foodie, you should tell Dave when he asked me my location of what I said.
What about being in Frisco?
No, the details of my exact location.
Oh,
What
he's
did
in,
you
in
say?
the gay area.
In the gay area, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
in the
sorry,
marina.
yeah. He's in,
I'm in the
yeah.
I'm in the Marina District, which is the gay area, and it's wonderful. I love it.
Well,
But they-
it suits you, Johnny.
Have they moved it from Polk Street then?
I don't know.
It makes a change not being in the cottage, John.
Yeah. I know. I was at the cottage last week for the Aussie bar. I know.
Yeah. So, well, you should get back in it, Johnny. You would obviously like it.
He was only, David, he was only helping out.
And they've been very, very
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
They busy then.
It's no good asking me. I know nothing at all about it.
No, but Hilda, you've done magic with your flowers again.
Oh, there you are, David, especially for you.
Thank you very much. They look lovely. And Blackpool Bob, yours has gone into foliage at the moment. Very nice though.
Yeah, it's gone back to green again from red.
Yeah. Like it. Chris, next time. Oh, actually, you've got floral behind you on your paintings.
Yeah, those are from when I was on the ship in Mexico. I bought those and then framed them. You can pull it up a little.
Lovely.
bit
Yeah.
so
Oh, nice.
you can
Nice.
see them there.
Yeah.
They're done
These-
like
These
Like
two
that kind
pictures
of-
behind me came from
they're done
Acapulco.
like a parchment kind of material.
And the other backdrops, obviously, Pete, thanks for popping out through your porthole, obviously.
I asked him not to do that because it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's not annoying, Johnny. It's character. All right, it's character.
It's changed his name to. It's changing his
You know,
name.
I would
to
put a
Noel
background.
Benjamin.
Yeah,
I
actually,
would put a
at least,
background on mine, but sorry,
Pete, at least you're not mooning out of it.
I would put a background
No,
on mine,
no,
but my
not
computer
yet.
won't do it.
Oh,
Floella Benjamin will be after you for copyright.
oh, yes,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah,
very
with
good.
the round window.
yeah. Oh, and now, Fruity, I like that picture. I've saved it, but I haven't transferred it onto my laptop. I do love that. I like that.
Which one?
The Merchant Navy.
Oh, right.
I have got a
That one.
picture of it. I've got it, and I've sent it to my messenger, but I haven't. I can get it from there, can't I? I might do that.
Anyway,
Steve
John, what's the
Walker,
latest on your big
come on.
scoop? John?
Tell us what you've been up to.
What's your latest on the big scoop?
Oh yeah, he called me yesterday, Mr. Billy Vader, and I was actually on his fucking the guy I'm with, Michael, lovely man, but he likes to walk like Ollie, he likes to walk 10, 20 miles a day. And I got a fucked up knee. And so yesterday we're walking from the beautiful park by the Golden Gate up to the plaza thing where you get a bus. It was 2 miles uphill. And he called me on that thing. So I wasn't a happy camper really, but he sounds great. And he says he wants to come into the Zoom chat room, that's what he calls it. And he's busy. He's going to go back to Los Angeles to visit friends before they die. That's his exact words. And he will look forward in the future to coming in, but he's not going to come in today.
Right. But that recording, Johnny, was brilliant.
Well, no, it's brilliant because I was having a colonoscopy. They were at my bum, and the phone call come in. I saw it on my Apple Watch while I was in the bloody surgery thing. I thought, I'm not answering it now. So I let him do his thing.
Well, it was even better because, without, and this is not being nasty, Johnny, you weren't there to interrupt like I would have done. We just listened to him, which was brilliant.
No, I was very pleased.
Johnny, I'm confused. Were you watching a colonoscopy on your watch?
Now, tell you what, it's a good question, Moody, and I'll get off the subject, but I've had three of these procedures. The first one I had, I was wide awake. They gave me the anesthesia, which the last two I've been out. They knock you out. So no, I wasn't. But my watch did tell me that I had a phone call from Vader before they threw the switch on me. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that.
I just got a finger at me.
Don't worry. I've been there as well.
I think we all have.
Did they find anybody interesting up there?
Yeah.
No, there was no gold watch.
I was going to say.
No.
I moved to a different room.
All right.
Now behind me, we have beautiful Bolivian tapestries.
Yes, nice. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Oh, yeah. No, this is your wife, isn't it, Chris?
My wife's from Bolivia originally.
Yes, yeah.
She's lived in California since she was about 8 or 9 years old, though. So.
Well, wow, that's amazing. And has she got anything to do with those particular paintings, or is this just?
No. We took a trip to Bolivia back in the 80s, and we bought a lot of souvenirs, and these. I bought a whole series of these tapestries. I gave some to other members of the family, and kept some for ourselves. We've got about 4 or 5 of them dotted around the house. So.
Well, no, and have you obviously over the years you've been back over there, I guess?
Oh yeah, I used to go when my folks were alive. I used to go back there every other year, and they used to come here every other year, between years. And I still go back. Not too many family left in England now. I lost my sister a couple of years ago, and my brother many years ago. So I've got a cousin, and I've got a nephew and niece over there. That's about it. Some family up in Scotland, and some over in Ireland, of course, where my parents were both from.
Yeah. So remind us all whereabouts in Scotland and whereabouts in Ireland.
In Scotland, in the Stirling area.
Yeah.
And in Ireland, both sides of the border, actually, in Antrim, up in the northeast of Northern Ireland. And
where Bobo is right now.
Bobo, yeah, he's in Belfast, right?
I'm in Lurgan.
Lurgan. Oh, there you are, Bobo.
Hello, Bobo. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Yeah, sorry that Dave didn't say hi, Bobo.
That's okay.
My mother was from Monaghan, just over the border.
Oh, okay.
Family in that area.
Yeah, I'm right in Lurgan, so it's a nice little spot. It's only maybe 20 minutes from the loch, and it's lovely, really nice. About 40 minutes from Belfast, so yeah.
You're in Loch Earn, right?
Yeah, in Loch Nay and all around there. It's very nice. Yeah, it's maybe half an hour from Antrim.
Yeah.
My dad came from Enniskillen.
Oh yeah.
And the first time I went over, we went all the way down Loch Earn from Enniskillen on one side.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we went down on the coast side into Sligo, and then we came back up on the inside.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I've got a cousin in Enniskillen.
Giant's Causeway is just fantastic. Giant's
Yeah.
Causeway.
it's a bit deceptive though, isn't it? When you say giants, the structures are
Yeah.
not as big as you imagine, are they?
No, that's right. Yeah.
But still very good. Very good. Hello, Brendan. Good to see you.
Hi, Dave. Hi, everybody.
Oh,
Good to be here.
And Mr. Donut, Colin.
Oh,
Good to see you.
Colin.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Colin.
Everyone all right?
Yeah.
Well, lovely from San Francisco.
Hi,
Colin.
Brendan.
Yeah.
Good evening, Brendan.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yes, yeah. It's a lovely selection of crew bar frequenters this evening.
The pretty one, Dave.
I spoke with Phil Butcher this afternoon, and he
Right.
sends his regards to everybody. But 7 o'clock on a Sunday evening, as I think most of you know, is an awkward time for him.
Sure.
So
How's
he
he
sends
doing?
his regards to everybody, wishes you well.
Mhm.
How's
Go
he
on,
doing,
Colin.
Hilda?
How is he diddling?
Yeah, it seems okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to him earlier in the week. He did try to get in, I think it was last week, but he had problems getting in. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before.
Yeah.
But he sounds okay.
I'm
Good.
sorry I missed Pratty the other week.
Yes.
I remember him well on both the Oriana, more so on the Oriana, and again when he came on the Sun.
Mhm.
But Mike Hawksworth put me back in touch with Peter Pratt, and so we've been emailing backwards and forwards a bit.
Great.
Oh,
Great.
good.
Yeah. No, it's good
good.
point, Patty.
Nice guy.
So, Brendan, so obviously it's good to see you, and nice that what you wrote earlier in the week about
absolutely
the 50,
brilliant.
50 years from Spirit of London.
Yeah.
And what was said just about sums it up. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people responded very, very kindly. It was just my observations and my, I think, as I said, the crew bar and bringing people back together like this is just fantastic. And, for some people, it's, they drop in, every now and then. So some people, they're here all the time. But
Yeah.
I know John was on the same. We were on the ship together that same day, and I'll never forget it. It sticks in my mind forever.
That's right. But you remember, Brendan, the mess room there? I mean, the main mess room was called the Lieb Nans mess room, and there's a little bit portioned off by the Chinese mess room, which was supposed to be the crew bar, the crew mess room, with 12 seats in it, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And then we soon got that done away with, and so it became one mess room, which was a good idea because that was ridiculous.
No,
But it's just amazing, isn't it? 50 years. But I mean, that's from that ship and for me personally. But I mean, we've all known each other for. Well, I've known John for 50 years, but I mean, the rest of you, for me, I've known you for over 45.
Yeah.
Years,
Yeah.
And each other, we've all known each other,
Yeah. Brendan, I think it's the same with everyone. I unfortunately I never worked the West Coast because of the job I did, but I still keep in touch with people that I met in 1974, and Colin's one of them.
Yes, David. Absolutely.
Correct. And then going forward from there, people from Canberra. I think that's where I met you, Bob, wasn't it? Blackpool Bob?
No,
Was it Canberra?
I can never remember. It was Oriana.
Well, it was either Canberra or Oriana.
It was one
But I
of the
certainly
two, yeah.
sailed with you.
I always
John.
thought it was Oriana when I was.
Yeah, well, it might well have been. The Colonel was on the Oriana when I first joined it in '74.
Yeah,
So
I was assistant
spreads.
bartender to Bob Griffiths and John Welton. Yeah.
Yeah. So it spreads right across, and I understand where Brendan came from because Spirit of London was very unique, I think, because it was a new ship and everyone just gelled with it, obviously, and have remained friends ever since. But I think no matter what ship you worked on, there's still people that you met, that you keep in touch with.
I think the Spirit of London, it was a small ship, one of the smallest ones at the time.
Hmm.
And because there was so few crew on there, everybody just gelled, whether it be
Yeah.
officers, crew, leading hands or whatever. There was no difference.
No.
Well,
It just
John,
gelled.
I found that when I went to see Princess in '79, and Dave was there.
Mm.
And you know, I'd only been on Oriana and Canberra, so you know, bigger ships, you didn't know everybody, but you got to know more people on the smaller ships. See Princess, it was like everyone went to the crew bar, whereas on Oriana and Canberra, it was you either went down the pig or you went to the lead man's bar, and there was a little bit of a gap.
Segregation.
Do you know what I mean?
Of them and us, David.
Yeah, a little bit, Colin. Yes.
I was just going to say, I joined the old Oriana in 1963, and it was very much upstairs, downstairs. But it wasn't so much that. Lead Nan's, senior and junior, they had their separate mess rooms and bars. And when I first joined the ship, I didn't know. I went into as I thought was a Lead Nan's bar. I didn't know the difference. And I got politely told that the junior Lead Nan's bar was the other side of the ship.
Yeah.
And this was how it was. And same, it was a two-class, tourist and first class. Yeah. And it was the same there. The snobbery and the menus were so vastly different. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. A very warm welcome to Salty Sea Dog.
Hello.
Nice
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Nice to see you.
Hello, David. All right.
Yeah. All good?
Yeah, good. I just missed you, John, in San Francisco last week.
Well, I'm here. We got in on Friday, Dave. Yeah.
Oh, we left on Wednesday.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, did you have the beautiful weather which we have right now?
Yeah, it was pretty good. When the day we arrived, it was misty and a bit wet, but then it was lovely, really nice.
Since we got here, there's not been a cloud in the sky. It's been great.
Really, you're very lucky.
Yeah, we are lucky.
Yeah,
bloody November.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to something which was brought up, Salty. So excuse me a second. We're talking about the crew bar, because the longer we go, some people ask me, how did the crew bar start? It started with Steve Walker. He's the one at the start of the pandemic. He video messaged me or whatever, and I said, well, let's just get together for a weekly chat, and that's how it started, Steve, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's grown.
Well, as they say, little acorns grow big oak trees.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't what I expected, but then again, there's been a lot of input from John and Dave, and they've made it what it is.
The dark days of early COVID.
Yeah, Dave and Dave Fruity, yeah.
Don't forget Oscar.
Obviously, Oscar. And BBC Pete helped us direct us on to going on to Zoom.
Yeah, I used to do it from a GoPro from the phone. It was horrible.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear.
Those were the good old days, weren't they, boys? Yeah. Those were the good old days, weren't they, boys? 2.5 years ago.
Oh God, yeah. And now it's so I'll say so convenient, but thanks to Colonel, because it's Colonel's Zoom account, which obviously
it makes it so much easier. I tell you, having the good account. Yeah.
That's your fact. I'm quite chuffed, a bit proud the fact that it's got everybody back together again, because if it weren't for the crew bar, there'd have been none of those reunions and get-togethers.
Yeah.
I would never have known the Australian chat. I didn't know Macca.
No. Yeah, for the Aussie boys, we would never have had a Three Greyhounds experience or a Worcester or a Cardiff.
I would never have all those 3 bottles of wine on the Carnival cruise, Dave.
Yeah, that's good, Colonel.
That was the only thing you were thinking of, Johnny.
Or the suite on the Regal Princess.
Yeah, that Regal, the trip on the Regal, that was great. And there's more to come. So anyway, so what's behind you, Salty?
So that was Ruby Princess in San Francisco last week. She was in, I think it was on Tuesday. She was in.
That goes to Hawaii, right?
I'm not sure, John. I don't know.
What was the one down in Sydney where they've all got COVID?
800, yeah.
Majestic, I think.
Majestic.
Yeah, Majestic it was. Yeah, it's Majestic.
Has she sailed again, or is she stuck there?
No, she's gone. She's sailed.
Yeah, that's great. Because they got to stop testing, because if people get on there, they get the flu. They're not going to say, "Oh, everyone's got the flu." Oh, fuck it. We should be over this now.
Ruby Princess was the one that took COVID to Aussie in the first place.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that was stuck in Singapore? Or no, was it Singapore?
That was
or
a
Fremantle.
Diamond, Japan.
What was the one then? Was it in Fremantle then? One of them?
No, Japan.
The Ruby Princess.
Yeah, one was it. The Ruby was in Japan, wasn't it? Yeah.
Ruby Princess was in Sydney. She discharged it.
Well, I had a Ruby on Tuesday, so that's all I know.
They don't have to be.
Everybody got that, Dave.
Yeah,
everybody got it.
No, Chris. No, I think it's a lot easier now.
Yeah, because my wife and I went on a cruise last year, and we had to be tested within 48 hours of boarding.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so everybody was tested. Everybody had to be vaccinated.
Well, Princess was still doing that over here, Chris. Back earlier this year, because Phil Butcher went on a cruise, and he was a bit pissed off because he didn't realise all the things he had to do.
Yeah, but now it's more lax. People are coming back with COVID off pretty much every cruise, according to my wife.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure about over here what Princess are doing, because I'm not booked on one. But
just had my new booster the other day. The new booster.
Oh yeah.
I just had that done on Friday.
When you say a new one, not your fourth one, it's just
no. This is the fifth one. This is the This is the third booster.
Yeah,
after the initial 2 shots, so it's the 5th shot.
Right.
There's something extra in it to what there was in the last ones, I believe. I can't remember what it was now. I know
they've kind of redone it for all the variants.
That's right. Yeah, I had it like mine.
I think over here, Chris, there is a 5th one, but it's for people that are really vulnerable. Because I only had my 4th one a few months ago.
Yeah, I've only had a 4th one.
I had my 4th one back in May.
Four.
I've had 5.
Who's had 5?
I've had 5 too. Yeah.
Oh, flipping!
Did they give you a flu jab?
Jump in the flipping queue.
I remember money's worth.
Have you all had your flu shots too?
Yeah, flu jabs. Yes.
Yeah, I've had the flu
recommend
jabs.
that. Recommend that to everybody.
Hey, look, we're all at that age now, because we're all proud of saying, "Yeah,
Well, we'll outdo each other with the number of pricks we've had.
How about the pneumonia shot?
Last year.
It was a clap shot.
We were all
I had a
vulnerable.
pneumonia jab last year.
Hey, but with all the discussions, nothing disturbed Daisy. We saw Daisy with you, Blackpool Bob. She's laid out on the back couch. I saw her there.
Say hello to you, David.
There she is. She's out for the flipping couch. Bloody hell. Do you take her on to your birthday party, dude?
No. She's had her hair cut, by the way.
She's had a haircut?
Yeah.
Oh, flipping it. No wonder she's lying low.
Yeah.
Steiner's in.
Oh, Steiner's. Nothing could be finer. Oh, bloody hell.
Was it a blowjob?
Wondered how long it'll take that to come out, Fruity.
You're getting to know me, Brandon.
They were all part of
It's blow dry, not blow's job, Fruity.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
It's blow dry, not blow
Oh,
job.
Miss Butcher
What was
told
he
me the
thinking
wrong
of,
thing
Brendan?
then.
What do you think he was thinking of?
No, Miss Butcher just told me the wrong thing. That's all.
Hey, now going over to Northern Ireland to Bobo. Bobo, where are you located? Are you in a?
Oh, my twin brother moved here 6 months ago, so I'm actually here. I came across on the ferry the other night, as you know.
Yeah, great coverage there, Bobo. We were all thinking of you.
But I'm going back to England on Tuesday or Wednesday. Because there's a good chance I might be a neighbour of Taffy's.
Oh, great
I've just
stuff.
bought an apartment in Cardiff.
If you mention
So,
Taffy Day, we'll put
Bobo-
your hats on immediately. Well, once
Yeah.
you mention
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that's the new
Bobo,
protocol.
you say your twin. Is he identical? Or
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Really?
There you go.
Really?
So you could actually not be Bobby.
Exactly.
I could be Johnny.
How do we know it?
Is this
How
his
do we
name
know it's
Johnny?
Hey,
Is your brother called Johnny?
Talk
Johnny.
about
John.
put your
Talking
taff
to the
hats on.
devil.
Put your taff hats on.
Hi, comes Taffy.
There he
Taffy's
comes.
Put
coming
your
in.
taff
Lovely.
hats
Good
on right
song.
now, and your
I
bins.
wish I had
There,
mine
come on.
here.
Who'd have thought it?
Come on, come on,
Hang
Yeah.
on. Let's
He's
get the
in Spain
capellas.
somewhere, I think, still.
come on. Put your taff hats
We're all
on.
set. Yeah.
I saw some of
Capellas and bins.
there was a load of those
Oh, well, yeah,
hats at
okay,
the
something
rugby.
different for next week.
Was
Oh,
that?
what?
Oh, of course,
really?
Cardiff.
Going
Yeah.
to be here next week? Yeah, we are.
Come on, Taffy.
Bobo,
get it on.
did you get that place which you showed me down in Cardiff?
No, I didn't get that one, and then we looked at another one, and so I've got another one. It's up towards Penarth that way,
Right.
bit out of the bay, but it's okay. It looks good. Yeah.
Can you turn your lights on,
Good.
Taffy?
Well done.
Here's
Well done.
Captain.
And Taffy.
Oh, look,
Some-
he's got his hat on. Go on.
Who's coming in that we don't know? Oh, it's
It's all right. It's
Noel.
Noel. Noel's coming
Noel's
in.
coming
Taffy's there with his capella on. That's all right. Yeah, no,
Turn-
Taffy.
Turn your lights on, Taff.
Yeah, another one. Another
Turn your
light.
light on.
Yeah.
Hold on, put a pound in the meter. Electric.
Well done, Taffy. Good. And Noel's coming in. Noel's coming in, which is great.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We've just been talking about Ireland, and then obviously, he's been earwigging, waiting for it.
Immediately, as soon as Bubba said Taffy, we put the taff hats on, and there he comes.
Yeah. So Taffy, you might not be able to spell the name of the place you're in, but what's it called?
Torrievo,
Torriego.
Torrio Vecchio, Torrio Viejo.
It's hard to spell that word. I was looking at it.
All I know is Colin Cook lives here.
Torrevieja.
That's it, yeah.
Torrevieja.
I'm gonna have to leave my eyes playing up. So anyhow, I'm here. I'm fine.
Good.
There we are.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
How are you, Taffy?
I'm having a good time. I'm in Torrievio, and I cycled round on the granny bike today, and I checked all the beaches out, and they were all doing exercises on the beaches like they do in Australia.
brilliant.
Good.
So I done a little video clip of that. I was thinking of joining in.
Why, was it a nudist beach?
No, it was a Sunday morning. Women out for their,
Oh, I bet you.
give it all this.
Yeah.
But it looked really good fun. I did
Nice.
think, I did have a look at Colin Cook lives in Torrievio or whatever it is. And I did have a look, and this time last year I was around this area, and I sent him a message, but he didn't reply. So I thought, well, if he didn't reply last year, I know I'll just enjoy this, just enjoy a granny bike around the beaches.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Well, look,
so
we'll
I
all
had a
say
couple of
hello
days.
to Noel.
I
Say hello
know.
to Noel.
Well done, Noel.
Hi, everybody.
That's our Eurovision host for next year. Is that right? The Crew Bar Eurovision tour next year, Ireland, October. We'll all be there.
Oh, yeah.
lovely.
Okay. And you're going to be Prime Minister of England. I just second you.
Right.
I got no reply from you.
Oh, good God. Right.
We need another prime minister, do we?
We better start work on that
Yeah.
idea about having a Ireland next year. When would be the best time to come, Noel?
About 2030.
We'll make a note of it in the diary now, Noel.
Yeah. Book it in,
Well,
guys.
We're not letting,
One of us left.
we're not letting in non-Europeans at the moment.
Will you be letting
Oh,
anybody in with Zimmer frames?
We're all coming over in caravans. They'll think we're a bunch of tinkers coming over to Athlone.
Yeah, thank goodness I've got an Irish passport then.
There you go.
Right, then you go straight in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're straight in. Yeah.
Yeah, I notice all those who voted for Brexit have got fucking Spanish or Irish passports.
Yeah. Oh.
I say no more.
I don't know.
So, Colonel, you and Chris can go from California. You can both fly over whenever this occasion takes place. All right.
Yeah. Okay, Dave.
Yeah. You'd be all right with that, Chris?
Yeah.
Good. There you are. You see, that's
we
all
can do.
sorted. That's sorted. And
I
Bob,
tell
you
you
say
what,
you're coming,
though,
Bob, are you
having-
coming back to Cardiff?
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
I had a reunion a couple of weeks ago, by the way, with anybody remember Tony Freeman Kosh, the photographer on the Sun?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him since '79. And like the Colonel, he's actually driving a bus, but it's a tour bus.
Oh,
No.
I was
He's been driving a tour bus all over the Western United States.
Wow.
And he's on leave right now, so he came to California because his girlfriend, who he met on the tour a few years ago, she was a tour director on the bus. She lives in Redondo Beach, California, so that's where he's staying right now.
Yeah.
So we got together, my wife and his girlfriend and the two of us. It was great.
Mhm.
Another 3-hour lunch.
Excellent. Excellent.
He's 75 now, a little bit
Shoot.
older than me, but he's doing good and still driving the tour buses.
Wow.
Well, a great idea. We'll get the Colonel to drive the tour bus
And
over in
That's
Ireland.
Colin.
Don't forget me.
By the way,
Yeah,
Colonel,
well,
thank you very
got
much for
plenty
that
of bus
video you
drivers.
sent of your retirement day. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was fun. I was the last Seattle bus driver to have a fun farewell day. Because after that, when COVID hit, when people retired, you had nothing. There was no parties, no
You had to pass, yeah.
nothing. Yeah. But anyway, I haven't got my commercial license anymore. So do you have yours, Colin?
No.
I got rid of mine. I got rid of mine.
I resigned it.
So did I. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Didn't
Colin,
need it, so
sorry,
there's
you
no
could have
point in having
driven.
it.
Yeah, because Colin, you were
What
driving.
were you
How many
driving,
years
Colin?
were you driving, Colin?
Sorry,
How many years were you on driving? It's quite-
15.
15 years.
What were you driving, Colin?
Double deckers, double decker
Okay.
buses.
Where?
Because I live in Swindon. Our routes were about sort of 30 miles away.
Yeah.
So Swindon to Oxford, Swindon to Trowbridge, Swindon to Devizes, and local stuff as well.
So Swindon could be a place for a reunion then.
Oh, yeah.
Louise has just said, "Don't come here, mate." Actually, no. Well, it depends on how you like your tyres on your car. Like, if you want to keep them. But, no, but Wiltshire itself is Wiltshire. The county is lovely. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's
my
so many
dad was
nice places.
stationed. My dad was stationed in the RAF at Lynham many years ago.
Oh God, we lived
Yeah.
so close to Lynham.
Yeah,
So close.
I know. I used to, as a kid. I was just pre-teen when he was there, and
Yeah.
so we used to go to Swindon quite a lot.
And Louise, my wife, was actually from Wootton Bassett,
Yeah, Wootton Bassett.
which is now
Oh.
called
Royal.
Royal Wootton Bassett.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that
did.
was-
I did a course when I was doing my national service at Compton Bassett.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, we know where that is. That's not very far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wiltshire's quite a nice county. It's a lovely county, actually.
Hmm, hmm.
It's Swindon has its own problems, like any
They
other
used to
town
make
in
good
the world. You
They
know.
used to make good sausages and pork pies in Calne.
In Calne, that's
Yeah,
right.
my brother.
much.
He took. My brother
much so.
was at high school kind of age, or grammar school back then. He was at Bentley School. And he got a summer.
okay.
He got a
Yeah,
summer
yeah.
job working at Harris's sausage factory.
Oh yeah, I think is it still there? No, it's gone now. It's not there now anymore.
He said if you knew what went into sausages, you'd never eat them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was one of his jobs, was putting all the mix into the sausages.
How many of you know Big Piece?
Yeah.
Well,
Not very well, but I do know him.
Well,
Robin.
Big Piece's mum and dad used to have a pub in Cowell.
Oh, really? His name's Robin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Robin Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin Mason. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
He used to have. They used to have a pub there, did they?
Yeah. Long
Do you know which one?
Well, I'll tell you what, they had it before I went to sea.
Okay.
And the reason I know is, I worked in the fruit machine amusement game business before I went to sea.
Yeah.
And we had a jukebox and a pinball machine, I think it was, in their pub.
Oh,
but
right,
I
okay.
can't remember what the name of it was.
Wasn't the
It
Lansdowne?
was definitely
was it?
in Cowell. Mason. Funny enough, I
Lansdowne?
was going to say the Mason's Arms, but I'm not sure that's right. But anyhow.
Well, I'd be blowed, flipping.
Yeah, another bit of nonsense. Another bit of nonsense.
Yeah.
Lot of connections there then. It's only me and Hilda and Steve that haven't got any connection with thinking any of that story.
You know Big Piece.
Oh, I know Big Piece. Oh, that'll do. Yeah.
You know Big Piece, yeah.
That's
He
all right
was
then.
trying to call him Big Piece in May at the reunion.
Yes, he was there. Yes.
I said, "Oh, yeah, Big
was
Piece."
it?
They're looking
Yes,
at me.
Stevie was
He was
there.
on the-
That's
was-
right.
Was he on the CP?
No.
He's definitely on Canberra.
Canberra,
He
he was on Canberra.
And he was on Oriana. He was welfare leading hand.
Yeah,
on the Canberra.
yeah,
welfare leader.
definitely.
He's,
that's right.
he's a good friend of Dougie Tizard's.
Yeah, he is
No,
indeed.
don't,
He is indeed.
don't.
And the last time I stayed at Robin's, Dougie Tizard was there.
All
And
right.
we had a barbecue. And we drank 3 bottles of Prosecco and 9 bottles of Sauvignon Blanc.
Is that all?
Yeah.
In that
Yes,
order.
but I still don't know how I got to Southampton Airport the following day to fly to Malaga.
Oh my God.
That's the
Looks like you
trouble
might
when
have
we
been
get
flying
together.
without wings.
That's the trouble when we get together. The alcohol seems to flow, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, everybody's trying to slow down a bit on how much we drink and all that. Louise and I are certainly slowed right down. Sundays is a big mistake. We always have a glass of wine on a Sunday, but we try not to drink during the week.
Yes. Yeah. We try not every night in the week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I'm not drinking during the week.
It gets.
David,
I
does it
know
work?
is what we did on the ships. There wasn't. I don't recall a day going by without having a drink when I worked on the ships.
No.
I think everybody did it.
Yeah.
Colin, what was your breakfast beer?
Now, okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I never used to drink before midday.
What time did you get up?
Unless I was hungover.
So, in other words,
You used to drink at breakfast then.
Yeah, I only drank on days beginning with T. That was Tuesdays and Thursdays, today and tomorrow, and Saturday and Sunday.
Well, I was going to ask. I think we should be asking Mr. Hogan and Mr. Daly to model some crew bar hats for next year's Irish get together. Maybe bring some samples in on the next crew bar novel.
Yeah.
I must see my tailor tomorrow.
That we can all vote on. You know?
Hello there, Noel.
Hey, look, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Good evening, all. Listen, I can't stay long. I'm actually about to take my wife to the airport. She's coming over to the UK tonight.
Is she?
She's flying out tonight, so I'll be dropping her down the airport.
Okay.
Where is she staying, Charlie?
Good to see you, Charlie.
Hello, Noel. She's going to be staying in West Brom. She's staying up there with my son.
Right. Got it.
How long for, Charlie?
For 2 weeks.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. She's back here on beginning of December, 2nd or 3rd. Of
That's
December.
not a direct flight, though, is it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
yeah. Straight out here, 7 hours.
What, into West Brom?
No. Flying into Heathrow.
No, that's from Heathrow to West Brom is 7 hours.
Yeah.
What time are the strippers coming in, Charles?
About 15 minutes after I get back home.
Anyhow, someone must have a question for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Fruity. Brendan.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I haven't put it up yet, but I'll put it up later on. It's 25 degrees.
Well, how come you've not got your fan on in the background there? The fan's normally on when it's hot, Charlie.
Yeah, it's not on today.
It's Arsenal
fan. It's a bit of a breeze.
I reckon it's raining there and it's miserable. You're
No. I'll take a picture and put it out for you.
It doesn't matter where Charlie is, because we've had 17, 18 degrees here today in Wiltshire.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It was 20. It was 21 here today.
Have a look at San Francisco. Look at this here. Look.
Yeah.
Looks good, Colonel.
Oh, lovely, Johnny.
That's the gay area, Bobo.
Is
No
it?
such thing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
No, it is.
That's probably why it's hot.
What made you pick that area, John?
What made you pick that area?
Got yourself a nice little camp hotel there, John, have you?
Yeah.
Are you already boxed off for tonight, Johnny?
It's called a Bona Latte, dear.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. So you're going out trolling later, are you, Colonel?
No, my friend, he likes to walk all day like Ollie. He's out on a walk now, you know.
Yeah.
So he'll be back to pick me up, and we'll start walking again, taking buses at soon as the crew bar's over.
Can you use your bus pass all over the States?
No, good question, Dave. No, I had to buy a new one. It's like the card we have in England and all over the place. You know, you buy a card, you load it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've been on the cable car that's still running, have you?
No, we didn't. We gave that a miss, but we've all done that. But we spent yesterday on the ferries all day. We went to Sausalito and then came back and then went to this other place I'd never heard of before. It was great.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
And Alcatraz, Johnny?
We passed Alcatraz, but I didn't go. We didn't take the Alcatraz tour. I've done that in the past. Yeah.
Hello, Ollie.
Ollie, yeah.
Ollie,
in the corner.
There's a pedal.
Hello,
a pedal.
I'm going to make my move, so I'll catch up with everybody next week.
Okay, Charles. See you.
Charlie.
Bye.
All the best.
Cheers, Charlie. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Ollie, on the bottom of your pedal stool, there's a pedal. Just pump it a few times and you'll raise the head. Yeah, well done. Well done. It.
He's not in the hairdressers, Dave. He's in his house.
Pump it up.
Pump it up.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah,
Look
you're a
how
bit low,
salty
Ollie. We
he's
can only
He's
see.
sat right at the top of his seat.
Ollie, put your screen down a bit, or
Put your
lift your
screen
head
down
up.
or put
Do this,
yourself up.
Ollie.
There you
Right,
go.
well
That's
done, Ollie.
better.
That's better, Ollie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie, have you been swimming today?
No, I haven't. No, it's too dirty in there.
Oh, crikey, yes.
There's a few Richards.
Yeah.
It's like swimming in the
Is it that
sewer.
bad, Ollie? Is that bad, is it?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Terrible.
I'm basically just down the road from the sewage works.
Oh dear.
Ollie, I posted a couple of pictures of you and I fishing in Mazatlan on the P&O Facebook page. Did you see those?
No, I don't do all that. So I only do this Zoom thing.
Oh, okay, well I'll put them on the messenger then for you.
Yeah, that'd be great if you don't mind, Chris.
Okay. No worries.
Lovely. So you went fishing. What was it? Going off on doing
In
the
Mazatlan.
deep sea.
Yeah, I used to go fishing a lot in Mazatlan. Used to go
Yeah,
out
we
with
used to
Bill
do that quite a
Hempel's Starfleet.
That's right.
And we used to try to get the captain. We used to try to get the captain on the Stella because he was the guy who knew where all the fish were. He used to take Robert Mitchum out fishing in those days. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
it's
good. I used to
fun.
enjoy,
It's
I used to
good
enjoy
fun
fishing.
doing that. Yeah, you know, Brendan, where are you? There you are, Brendan. And Noel, we did it, didn't we?
Yeah, some good photographs. We went. Yeah, I think. Yeah, the Matsland, wasn't it? We caught some. We caught a couple.
Yeah.
And then Brian Redmond cooked a lovely
That's
fish.
right.
We all out in the back deck and had it. Yeah.
I used to go out with Aggie.
You went out with Aggie, Colin.
Aggie Brewer.
Yeah.
There was me, Aggie, Fraser, someone else as well. I can't remember.
What about Bonbon? Did he come with you?
No, I don't think Bonbon actually came
Bonbon
with us.
got out of bed.
No, he wouldn't have got out of bed. Yeah,
I was just going to say that he was still in bed.
But no, we used to do that with Aggie. Vince Grealish, I think, came with us once.
Yeah,
Nevin, I think, came once. I can't remember now.
Wow.
I don't remember. I don't think there was any time that we didn't catch something when we went out. We went almost every trip.
I don't remember Aggie having a fishing rod on that trip home from Aussie either.
You know, the last cruise I did before I got off in '80 to get married was up in Alaska. The last cruise and the last port was Sitka, and I went out fishing with all the photographers, three of us, plus Tony Martin, the cruise director. And we went.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, we went. We went
Tony's
too
past
far,
now, isn't he?
Yeah, we went too far. We didn't have time to get back to the ship. You know, it was anchored out, and it's only like a 5-minute pilot. And we see the ship moving off its anchor point. So the guy who was on the boat, the captain of the boat, he radioed the ship and got hold of the bridge there and radioed the captain, who was John Crichton was the captain.
Oh, yeah.
And he radioed and said, I've got 3 photographers and the cruise director here, you know, will you hold the ship up for them? And they never usually hold the ship up when the pilot's on board the ship, you know, he's in charge, so to speak. But Captain Crichton said, we have to stop the ship and let these guys on because the cruise director's with them. I don't care about the photographers, but I care about the cruise director because it's a farewell show tonight.
Yeah.
And that was what he said to Tony Martin, and I went up to the bridge to apologize to the captain. And that's what Crichton was just laughing so much. He said, yeah, I didn't give a shit about you photographers, but I had to have the cruise director on board.
John Crichton was a good skipper.
Yeah.
Very good.
It wasn't Sammy.
Yeah, I didn't sail with him very much because he wasn't on the sun very much.
No.
I sailed with him on Oriana. He came out to Oriana because he was going to go to Royal Princess as the first captain, and sadly he passed away before that happened, and that's why JY went there. But what a lovely guy he was.
Yeah, Colonel, you did an interview.
I have just sent it to Chris Johnson as we speak, Dave. That's why I love you, because you read my mind. Captain Crichton on this, Chris, is amazing. So when we finish, you should watch it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and with Tony Martin as well.
Yeah, Tony Martin.
With them.
Yeah. We're down here on the mooring deck, and it's Captain Crichton's farewell party, and we're very lucky to have a very exclusive interview today. Captain, thank you for being on Channel 4, and Tony Martin's here, the cruise director as well. And we're just wondering how you feel at the last, your first trip back in a long time. How's it been, and is the ship the same as it used to be?
Yeah, that's what I've always loved about this ship, that you had to be mad to work here in the first place. But I think, you know, right when we got the ship off the ground back in 1973, we're probably the most evil bunch of gangsters ever brought together in one ship. And although they seem to have changed a bit, there are still some of us left who are still just as evil as they ever were. Not we, they. And I love it in this ship. I couldn't have been happier to come back here. Really was. Absolutely delighted.
Tony, am I just saying that you were with Captain Crichton back in the early days of the Spirit of London?
Yes, in 1973.
Captain McGowan first took the ship out when she started her maiden voyage in November 1972. When I joined the ship in September 73, then Captain Crichton was master and Captain Clark was deputy captain, and Brian Langston Carter, now director of entertainment, was the cruise director. I was a deputy and Cliff Perry was the stage manager, assistant cruise director. That was way back in 73, when of course he was the Spirit of London.
Now that was about as bad a bunch as you could find anywhere. I know what, I got so much on him, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, Captain Crichton, from Channel 4 viewers, needless to say, we've enjoyed your return, and we're looking forward to you coming back. You back just after Christmas, is it?
And on January the 10th, I think I rejoined down in San Juan. And I would just like to say to all the Channel 4 viewers, thanks very much for keeping this ship just as ever was. When we changed the name to the Spirit of London, from the Spirit of London rather, they presented me with a mug on which it said, you can change the name, but you can't change the spirit. And that was absolutely dead right.
Okay, thanks a lot. And Tony, you leave on Friday as well? Are you off back to LA for 2 months?
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow, John. I'm going to fly back to Los Angeles. I'm going home for Christmas to London, though. I'll be back sometime about, I think, January 24, rejoin the Caribbean. I'd like to add to the Captain Crichton's word, you know, that the Sun always was and always will be a very special ship with a special splash of magic that she's always had, and no one quite knows what it really is. I don't think it's necessary for anyone to really know what it is, but whatever it is, the others don't have it. That's the Sun.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for letting us have this special interview today.
Thanks, John.
Excellent. Okay. Bingo last week.
Right.
A very unusual.
Tony Babes Martin.
Tony Babes, yeah.
They used to say Babes all the time.
Babes.
He used to walk with
What
his, he used to have this walk
what
with
was
his
this
head.
team he
like that.
supported? Was it the 49ers or something?
Oh, he was funny as hell. He used to give out the sports results, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He goes, and the 49ers have gone down on the 69ers.
That's right.
Whatever it was.
Like Chris Chapman, I think he started as a redcoat at Butlins.
I think he did. Yeah.
In fact, Brendan,
He's dead now.
in fact, Brendan, on that interview with Captain Crichton, he talks exactly the same as you wrote that piece this week. He was talking about how this is the only ship ever, the Spirit of London and the Sun Princess. So, yeah.
He died very young, if I remember rightly. He wasn't a very, I mean, he still had a good few years to go.
I think he died in service.
on the
He died in
operating
service.
table.
I think he died in service, didn't he?
He was on the operating table. He had appendix,
Oh, dear.
and they put him out. And
He was home on leave from Oriana, and I can remember when the message came through, and I think it was trying to think who the captain was, and unusually they broadcast over the whole ship about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, mainly so all crew members heard that he'd passed away.
Wow.
And that was Aussie Cruising. And he, as I say, he'd gone there for big ship experience, because obviously Royal Princess was a lot bigger than Sun and IP and PP.
Wasn't very old, was he?
No.
He would have been. I would have thought it would have been towards late 50s.
Mid to late 50s, yeah, I would say.
Yeah. Fantastic guy.
Yeah.
Hey, they stay with you. They certain captains stay with you, don't they? Their names.
Yeah.
Nice man.
When John Young travelled on the ferries with his wife and another captain, I can't remember his name now. I was working in the what they called the club lounge on the ferry. I'm sure they had one on all the ferries. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the food and beverage manager, her name was Carla Young. Her nickname was the Rottweiler.
Rottweiler, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
No, that's the wrong one, dear. Sorry. Anyway, she was called the Rottweiler, and she came up to me and she said, "Do you know John Young, the Commodore of the fleet?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "I know Captain Young, or Commodore as he was then, very well." And oh my God! So when they brought them, she brought them up to the club lounge for seats and all that, so they could sit down and have a cup of coffee and all that. And of course, JY had his wife with him, and his wife's name was, help me out here, guys, please.
Elizabeth.
No,
No.
no.
I remember it from the crew bar.
Yeah.
This is your live show, yeah.
Yeah, go on. What was her name, John, please?
It'll come back to me. Now.
Right. Anyway, I remembered her name, and you should have seen the gob on the food and beverage manager when I said, hello, Commodore Young. And I called his wife by her first name, because she always said, don't call me Mrs. Captain. My name is, and I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember her name. It's gone out of my head. You should have seen the gob on the food and beverage manager when I called her by her first name.
Yes.
You can't call her that. Jesus Christ. But I did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about John.
Sorry?
Sorry, Colin. I was interrupted.
No, it's okay. It was just a story about talking to JY's wife. And for the life of me, I can't remember her name. It's gone right out of my head.
John Young sailed on the Sun Princess as a deputy captain. I remember him coming on as a deputy captain, and we actually did the very very first trip to Cabo San Lucas, and we went there, and I was on the first shore party with Frank Estorella, the safety leading hand, and a guy called Fred Bright, the barman.
Oh,
remember Fred Bright? Yeah,
Fred Bright. Yeah,
and John Young was the deputy captain. And we went into Cabo San Lucas. The ship anchored out. We were the first one, and we had to set the shore party stuff up. You know, the urn of water and the board and everything like that. And when we got there, there was no pontoon or anything. There was a ramp, and there was no agent, nothing. John Young was going nuts, you see. So myself and Fred Bright jumped out of the lifeboat, because it was basically on the beach there, and we went to try and get this thing going. You see, this sort of ramp that the lifeboat would tie up to, and it wouldn't move. So John Young got out the boat, and Frank got out of the boat, and all four of us pushed this thing into the water so that the boat could tie up to it. And as we pushed it, Fred Bright was a big fella, and he had a bit of weight behind. He pushed it so much. John Young slipped and fell headfirst into the water, completely soaked, and his hat was bobbling along in the water, you know.
Brendan, I thought that was Sammy Bradford.
No,
do you remember? I think I said about this a few.
I was there.
That was wishful thinking.
We picked him up, getting his hat, and all this water falling out of the hat, and we put it on his head, you know. He was really kicking off, and we only did we were only there for a few hours, and then we moved off, and then obviously Cabo San Lucas developed into a major cruising destination. But
I was there 2 weeks ago, Brendan.
Yeah.
It's changed, John, beyond recognition, hasn't it?
No, Salty, nice picture behind you. Excellent picture.
Yeah, I remember John Young's wife's name. Her name was Jill.
Jill, of course it was.
Well done,
Jill,
that's Colin.
Yeah, you're right.
Jill. Well done, Colin.
Yeah.
Well
Thank you.
I have a question for the bartenders. Okay, so here's the deal. On the train trip, my friend, who I've never spent overnight with him, obviously, and I thought I'll go and buy a bunch of these little miniature drinks, right? Well, I had a whole crap load of these. No, not Jägermeister. I had vodka, Kahlua, Baileys. Anyway, he got sick as a dog, so I'm not going to give him a Jägermeister. So should I drink this straight or with Coke? How should I drink it?
Straight.
Naked.
Right. No, you have it with Red Bull.
You need to put it in the fridge, though, John.
Right.
Jägermeister, you have with Red Bull.
Right.
I'll drink
it
straight.
Right,
John.
A message from Louise, John. She says, rub it on your chest and don't do anything else with it. Don't drink it. Rub it on your chest. Like horse liver.
It's actually funny. It's actually funny. And as Mrs. Kling does not watch the crew bar, I can say this. So I went to get some cash for her and me because she went to Miami. I stopped at the grocery store, and there's me getting about a whole crap load of this stuff. when I got back to the house, it was I had to hide it because she wouldn't approve me getting.
Of course not, Johnny. Well, we're all worried. We're all worried.
But we can always send a link to her, Johnny.
I can edit it out, Chris. Don't worry. All right.
Dave, have you seen Charlie's? Dave, have you seen Charlie's message?
Oh no, I thought it was the weather. Is it not the weather?
Yeah, but there's a little message underneath it.
Oh yes, yes. You will never be completely at home again because part of your heart will always be elsewhere. That is the price you pay for the richness of loving and knowing people in more than one place.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that is. Dear, oh dear, hang on.
Oh, I got some tears in my eyes now.
I've got something in my eye. I'm not sure what it is.
You're all emotional in your old age now.
You've been looking through that keyhole again, David.
Flipping heck. Yeah,
that's nice.
He's great. Love him. Brilliant.
Getting back to captains. One of my favorite captains I sailed with was on the Oriana. Was Peter Love, of course.
Oh yeah, Peter Love was brilliant.
He was one of a kind.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Peter Love was he was on Oriana when I was there, and also on Sea Princess when I was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were CP with him, weren't we, Fruity?
He was our captain. He was our captain.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
Fantastic.
The hole in the elephant's arsehole.
Yeah. I don't think it's quite like that, Pete.
I think it was bottom, Peter. It didn't call it arsehole, it was bottom.
That's right.
We used to have on every voyage we would have in our alleyway there was a couple of photographers, a couple of shop staff, and a couple of hairdressers, and we would have a Harvey Warbanger party every voyage and invite everybody. And Peter Love, I remember him coming up when I was tending the bar there and ladling out the Harvey Warbangers. He would come up and ask for a fresh glass of cherries. Just fill it up with cherries, he'd say, because we used to marinate them for a couple of weeks before in vodka. Chris, just give me a glass of cherries.
Yeah.
One of the best memories of Peter Love, it was on Sea Princess, and we were sailing from, it was either Suva or Latoka, and I must have just come back on board, and I was going along upper deck. That's where the bureau was, wasn't it, Dave? Yeah. And I was going along, and the cruise director's cabin was just past the purser's cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter Love fell out of the cruise director's cabin in a sou'wester, and he was going up to the bridge to sail out of port.
Oh,
and he was absolutely legless.
Brilliant. Hey, Salty, nice picture. Move to one side, Salty, please.
Oh, there he is.
There he is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's Peter Love,
They absolutely loved him.
Oh.
And he used to sing that song.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
He did it on pub night.
He'd sing it up on the passenger. He'd sing it on pub night up in the passenger.
Pub night, yeah. That's
just down the crew mess,
Yeah.
Down the crew bar, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I was with him on the Oriana, we were sailing down from San Francisco, and he went in dead close to Pebble Beach because he said his brother had a house in Pebble Beach, and he went in there blowing the foghorn for his brother.
Bob, that was as you came out of Fort Lauderdale.
No, it was on Pebble Beach in California.
I thought
great memories, guys.
Well, there might be a Pebble Beach in Florida as well.
I thought it was as you came out of Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades. That's where his brother lived.
Well,
and they always used to.
It certainly wasn't then, because that particular time, it was definitely Pebble Beach.
Oh, well, maybe he moved, Bob. I
Maybe he had one more than one brother.
And they still do it, Rudy, 'cause when we went out,
His brother had more than one house.
Yeah.
The P&O flag still
Yes.
flies on that same apartment
Oh,
in Fort Lauderdale. It does, yeah.
yeah.
Do you remember John Young when he used to do the lifeboat drill? He was very clever because the passengers loved him after that drill. He used to do the drill, and then he said, in the age-old tradition, women and children first, and that's why you'll find a wig and a nightgown on the back of my cabin door.
Peter does a good impression of that
every time. And the punters from that moment on, which was the first day, of course, they loved him. You know, he won them over straight away.
Well, that was brought up on This Is Your Life, wasn't it, David?
It
when you
was.
did a loud stage whisper and said he ain't camp, is he?
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we did. We brought a wig and nightgown on the stage, didn't we?
Yeah, you did.
Give to him. Because he used to always say, "In case of a drama."
That's a drama.
Well, actually, on the Billy Vader voice recording, he talks about that.
He did a very good impression.
He was editing it, and then Chris Chapman comes in. Chris thought that John Young was there.
Yeah, that's right.
That was great. Yeah, he used to do that a lot, didn't he?
Every boat drill.
That was in part of his act, part of Vader's act.
It was, yeah.
You know, up in the Starlight Lounge, he used to include that.
Yeah.
Bit of
to crack up.
Yeah, well, he'll come on the crew bar one day, Billy will. He will.
They did a double act up on up in the Starlight Lounge. Was it JY and somebody? Oh, crikey. It was another
cruise director. No.
I remember Billy Vader and Jim Bennison on stage in the Starlight Lounge.
Jeremy Merrick. Was it Jeremy Merrick and I can't remember when it was, but yeah, I'm sure they did because they did a recording of it.
Oh,
that might have been Jeremy Merrick.
Yes, but
because he was as outrageous as John Young was. The same way, on the same wavelength.
Yeah, definitely. Now, talking of the wavelengths, I have been informed that it is time for traffic lights to come up.
Yeah.
And as we do want to ask Fruity, with communications with Oscar this week, are we looking forward to a remake or
No, we've got a new one.
Excellent.
Which is going to put you all to shame. Well, you bartenders. Correct, Johnny?
Right. Not about labels.
Yeah, I'll fess up. I'll completely fess up. So Oscar, God bless him, he sends me the script, which is obviously just a fruity. And I admit sometimes I don't read it, but this one I read and very impressive. But I sent Oscar an email immediately telling him I was impressed, and he replied thanking me. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Oh, we'll look forward to it. We will look forward to seeing that later on tomorrow.
Yeah,
or whenever you get a chance to do it. Sorry,
it all depends on the Wi-Fi in this hotel. It seems pretty good, so I should be able to upload to YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, but if not, as and when.
Well, and also it depends on my friend Michael. If he's got me walking another 20,000 steps this afternoon on my bad knee.
Yeah. But in San Francisco, they don't walk. It's more of a mince.
Are you ready for that, John?
Yeah.
David, you got your best frock ready, John?
Yeah,
David,
I do, John. Yeah.
It's a slow mince.
A slow mince.
Would be in those hills.
Slow mince on the slingbacks. Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
well, look, now, boys, we are coming to the time, sadly, and it's so nice to see a wide variety of friends. Taffy, they're relaxing there in Torre Vecchia.
I've got a question for Taffy. Taffy, last time you said you have to go because you're using your data. Are you on free Wi-Fi right now?
No, I've done an add-on for today.
Well, Good.
Well,
One
thank
day,
you very
thank you.
much.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Taffy.
If you could do an add-on at the supermarket called light bulbs, it would be even better.
Hang on, and this is before Colonel's had his flipping drink.
I have one last question for whoever was organising it. What about Billy Vader coming on?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I tell you what, it's Mandy. God bless her. She's the one who gave me his phone number.
Right.
And I tried this years ago, right? So the fact when he called me, what I did, the big huge thing I did, I put him into my contacts on my phone as Billy Vader. So, but normally I don't do it, right? So if he'd phoned me, I would not have answered for be a strange numbers. But I knew it said Billy Vader. So you heard the voicemail he left. He sounds great, and he wants to come in the crew bar, and I will try every week until he does. So
All
we'll
right,
just
okay.
keep our fingers crossed.
Okay.
But you know, it's like the caveman thing. We all know the caveman thing when we thought he was dead. And,
Yeah.
And the rumors that Billy was, you know, in a home or something, it's not true. He lives on a 150-acre ranch, a horse ranch.
On a
ranch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which he owns.
Yeah.
John, I'm going to email you later on or text you, whatever, and just ask, because I don't know how it works. I'm still trying to get JR and Lindsay on.
Yes. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Be lovely.
Well,
Still trying to get. So I just need to know exactly what I need to do to get them on. What information I need to feed them.
Basically, it's easy peasy, Colin, because basically that link we get each week, right? You can copy and paste it, and then copy on the day, because even though it's the same link, we've all come across this thing when we try one, it doesn't work. That's why I do that's why I redo the link each week, even though it's the same damn thing.
Okay.
So for instance, if they said yes, we can come in Sunday, well, that Sunday, when you go to the link, copy and paste it and send it to the email or the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, as we know, having the Zoom app helps, but it's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look at next week's and see if I'll send it. I'll give them a heads up that I'm going to send it to them.
Yeah.
And hopefully they might come in.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a bit what confused all of us when Pete put us onto Zoom is that first of all it says, well, open this link in your browser. You have to do a couple of steps before you got there.
Okay.
But it seems to be for the last 18 months, it seems to be working just fine. So
okay, right. I'll try and help. I'll have my computer analyst beside me helping me with it.
Oh yeah.
Colonel, one last question. This ranch which Billy Vader's on, is this a ranch for retired comedians, or is this just for him personally?
Hopefully you'll be able to ask him yourself, though.
That'd be great.
It's in North Carolina, right, John?
Good question. Yeah, someplace.
Because that's what I heard some time ago, that he lived he bought a ranch in North Carolina, 150 acres.
Well, Chris, you've got the phone number, right?
No, I don't.
Right. I'll send it to you. And phone him. He'll call you back.
Yeah, I'll give him a call. Yeah, because
I
knew him well, and he came to my wedding.
Wow.
I'm gonna do it right now as you speak, while the music plays. I like doing things right. We're good.
All right. Hey, well, look, boys, we'll start waving now, and hopefully we'll see everyone next week.
York Bartenders School. On January the 2nd, 1974, after taking nearly 3 months off, I reported to Beaufort House, P&O offices crew engagement, and expected to be sent as assistant barman to a ship. I was in for a rude awakening. P&O had just sold several ships, and Canberra was in layup, being prepared for its first world cruise. No assistant bars jobs were available, and I was informed that none would be for a long time, even though I'd been an assistant barman for 4 years. I was then offered to be put on pay that day if I would agree to go as a public room steward on the new purpose-built cruise ship, Spirit of London. I was told I would be needed in 3 weeks to replace a crew member going on leave. Thus, I flew out to Los Angeles by Caledonian Airlines and joined the happiest ship in the fleet, and one I was to serve on for a long time. From the start, there was great comradeship among all the crew, and everything seemed to work so well that the happy crew made very happy passengers, and indeed many returning passengers to do a second and even a third or fourth trip. On my first trip aboard Spirit of London, I realised the passengers would often try and order cocktails not on our list, or even the ingredients be known by the bartenders who could not make them. 4 months later, I went on leave. I had been invited to spend my leave in New Jersey by the parents of a friend of mine, and I had the attic bedroom in the house. Johnny was just starting a 3-week course at the American Bartenders School Incorporated at 369 Lexington Avenue, New York City. So I decided to go as well, so as to pick up tips on all those cocktails I had heard mentioned, but did not know how to make. On the first day, I paid up the fee and started my first class. At first, it was all basic and rather boring, but later in the course, it got more interesting. So every morning for 3 weeks, we would both get up early, have breakfast, and then drive in Johnny's 1968 Ford Mustang car from Roselle, New Jersey, to Elizabeth, New Jersey, and park the car. Then we would take a commuter train from Elizabeth, New Jersey, to Penn Central Station, New York City. Then by subway train to Lexington Avenue. It is the only time I have been a commuter in all my life. I can assure you 3 weeks was enough, and after that I stuck to ships and commuted by lift or the crew stairwell. On one ship, I went to work on a lift that was nicknamed the Flying Dustbin. But I digress. Later in the course, I did learn about different cocktails and how to make them. We used dummy bottles of liqueur behind the bar to practice. And at the end of every day, we had to fill them up again with coloured water for the evening class to come in. Why an Englishman was there learning to be a bartender puzzled my instructor, until I told him I worked for a cruise ship company and was there to learn American cocktails. This information did not go down well with the bar school, as not only did they make money from fees charged to the pupil, but after the pupil passed the end exam, they then, as it were, sold the trained bartender to a hotel or cocktail bar for a fee. With me, they would miss out, as I had a ship to go back to. When I came top in the exam, it rankled even more. They tried to get me to stay in New York and work in the bar there. And of course, they then could collect their fee. I pointed out I did not have the correct visa, as my B2 was for working on the ship. Johnny did well in the exam and went to work in Mama Leone's bar and restaurant. 3 months later, he got into a show and danced until the run ended, and then went back to bartending. then a show, then bartending. Well, you get the picture. A typical dancer's life. I got a very handsome certificate from the New York Department of Education for having trained at the school, and I used to keep it behind the bar for many years. I was interested with cocktails for the rest of my life and invented some myself. I also kept reference books in my bars and my own little green metal box full of file cards of cocktails. I always had an up-to-date Mr. Boston, official bartenders and party guide, and a Sardi's bar guide from the famous Sardi's restaurant on Broadway. I still have the books right beside me now as I type this missive. Also, a very worn and battered copy of a mixology book from that American bar training school I attended 48 years ago. Well, that's all, folks, for this week. From Oscar. Oh, and always remember,
Seattle in the year of '92 with George Pratt, his partner, and brother Billy too. They crossed the Yukon River and found the Bonanza Gold below that old white mountain, just a little southeast of Nome. Sam crossed the majestic mountains to the valleys far below. He talked to his team of huskies as he mushed on through the snow, with the northern lights a-running wild in the land of the midnight sun. Yes, Sam McCord was a mighty man in the year of 1901, where the river